Are there cultural reasons why Americans often paint their own homes? Why pay a guy to come and do the job in a day when I could do it myself 6 square feet at a time once every 6 months and never finish the project, for free? Painting a house can cost thousands of dollars. I'm so confused. So do people in other places generally hire out to get their houses painted inside? I'm not trying to be rude. It's just so uncommon here I hadn't even considered it. Painting is not that hard of a job, and doing it with your friends or even partner is a good way to bond and spend time as well as perfect a skill and learn more about painting. Labor is a bit expensive in America because our incomes are high in general, so it's tempting to do work like that yourself if it's not something that actually takes a skilled tradesman. There's definitely a culture of doing it yourself if you want it done right, and painting a room isn't hard to learn. Painting is easy and fun, and labor is expensive. More economic reasons than cultural reasons. Well, I suppose it's generally frowned upon to paint someone else's home. Without permission, that is. Painting your home is an American thing. I have a relatively small home. My last quote to have it painted was for 34% of my post-tax annual income. It's illegal to paint other people's homes unless they give your permission. Is there a country where it's common to have enough spare cash not to DIY painting? My mom got a few quotes to paint her house recently, and when she worked it out, the cost of labor was generally $2,000 over the cost of paint. She just bought the paint, and her and those of the siblings that are nearby did it over a few weekends. It's just way overpriced to have someone do it for you in a lot of places. Edit. I was talking about the outside, but inside there's even more reason to do it yourself, because you can piece it out and just do one room at a time whenever instead of having to displace all your shit at once. Is there a culture where this is not the case? Yeah, George Washington painted the first house in America in 1778, so now we all do it. In times past, painting was complicated. Not so much the application of paint, but making and mixing of paints that up to the late 19th century was generally done on a job-by-job basis. With the advent of commercially available paints, and especially latex paints, after WW2 when suburban housing boomed, painting became something even the unskilled could readily do. With mortgages to pay and kids to raise, many in the middle classes decided to paint their own houses. This is a fun question because there are a lot of factors here! So first, in the US, we have a strong DIY culture, manifest destiny and all, and so homeowners often have, or have access to, tools and resources needed for jobs like this. In Europe, it's been my impression that standards for craftsmanship are generally higher, so people might prefer hiring skilled tradespeople. On the flip side, in places where labor is less expensive, like Central America, hiring a tradesperson might be more affordable. So the USA is in this sweet spot of it's too expensive to pay someone, and I can do it well enough myself. That's how I see it anyway. A person in the US who has painted their own house inside and out, many times. It's not difficult and labor is expensive. Have you seen the price of having your house painted? That's the biggest reason. It's something you can do yourself for much less than you'll pay someone else to do it for you. UK here. We painted our own home because it was a fun and be cheap. I don't think it's a cultural thing, it's just an activity. Sure, some people are rich enough to hire laborers like gardeners and cleaners, but most of us, no matter the country, don't have that luxury.